Debbie Lash and I'm your yoga teacher for today. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome back if you've practiced with me here before. Please subscribe if you haven't already and remember to click the bell next to the subscribe button and it will notify you every time a new class drops from me, which is at the moment around once a week. Today's practice is 60 minutes. It's a morning Vinyasa flow. It's morning time here in sunny Mallorca. I'm actually practicing at home and outside, so please just, you might hear the birds, there might be a few cars passing by, so just tune into the practice and just absorb any background noises. So, are you ready? Let's get started. We're going to start in Virasana on our knees. If you've got a block, wonderful to have some blocks at home, and I definitely encourage you to get some blocks if you haven't got them already. And if you don't have them, grab some books, a pillow, some blankets, maybe a towel or a belt. Take a moment to land and arrive on your mat by gently bowing the chin to the chest to arrive. Notice how you feel from the inside out, because this is what the practice is. It's an inside job. Notice any tension in your body. Maybe you're feeling it in the tops of the feet. Start to spread the toes, pressing down through the tops of the feet as you walk the knees a little closer, squeeze the thighs. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears as you hug the belly in and gently press the head back. So imagine you're leaning into an imaginary wall. Dropping into the practice by aligning your thoughts with the breath. Take an inhale to the top. And open the mouth, sigh it out. Good, one more just like this, deepest breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhaling to the top. Keep the lips closed, exhale through the nose, back of throat. Connecting to Ujjayi breath, inhale. Voice of the practice, exhale. Inhale, gently open the arms wide. Just blink the eyes open. Start to circle your wrists. Point and flex. And then just open and close the fingers. And crossing the right arm over the left. Some of you might want to take self-love, just wrapping the opposite hand to the opposite shoulder. Some of you will be ready for eagle arms, Garudasana. Inhaling here, squeeze the forearms together as you lift them up. And you could stay upright or forward fold and bow. Exhale here. Just take 5 cycles of breath. You can turn the head side to side, releasing any tension in the shoulders and the neck. But bowing to yourself and honoring yourself for showing up this morning. I really believe that the hardest part of every class is carving out the time to make it to your mat. So really honor yourself for showing up. Press down through the tops of the feet. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, release. Right hand down, left arm up. Spin the chin into the armpit. Inhale here, maybe tiptoe the hands to the right a little, and just notice what's happening to the top arm. Is it a little bent? Sharpen the arm, rotate, and spin the chest. Breathe into the side body. So you've got this delicious stretch from left hip all the way up to the fingertips. One more cycle of breath, just like this. And inhale, lift up. Exhale, left arm over right. Right arm over left. Left arm over right. Other side. It's actually left arm over right. Inhale. I'm mirroring you, so sometimes it gets a little confusing. Exhale here. That's it. Firm the forearms together. Feel and breathe into your back ribs. And one more cycle of breath. Pressing down through the tops of the feet. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, release. Left hand down, right arm up. Spin the chest. Anchor down through your right sit bone as you spin and breathe into the side body. Knit the fingers together. And just remember that energy loves to travel through straight lines. So always trying to sharpen and lengthen and straighten wherever you can. One more cycle of breath here. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Top arm up. And come onto the hands and knees for tabletop position. And I like to take cat-cow a little differently today. So I'm going to center the right knee and then just snuggle the left knee behind and then walk your feet as wide as the mat. Your shoulders are over the wrists. Lift the back ribs up, hug them in. So this feels like a Garudasana and a Gomgasana in the hips and the thighs. So there's compression between the thighs. So squeeze the thighs together as you lift the back ribs up. And we're just going to start cat-cow from here. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, round and round. Inhaling, heart lifts. Exhale, round. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, round. Take two more. And inhale, heart lifts. This is an option. Tuck the toes. You could stay with cat-cow and you could even uncross the legs if it's not comfortable. Press down and lift the knees up. And just hold it here and hover. Squeeze the thighs. Notice when you squeeze the thighs together, you feel this firming of the outer hips. Good. Two more cycles of breath. The arms are straight like cat pose. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. And the next cycle of breath, we're going to take it up and back into downward facing dog. And maybe you want to lengthen the hands forward. Maybe look forward. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, drop the heels down. Two more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And bring that left leg all the way around and cross it in front. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, lower down. We're just going to do the same thing on the other side, just changing the cross of the legs. Cat-cow, Vinyasa. Find connection to breath. The most important part of the whole practice and of every pose. I think the sun's going to be chasing me here. Last one here. Inhale, tuck the toes under and just hover the knees. That's it. So the alignment is the shoulders over the wrist, but then shift it forward. You feel this lovely gripping of the fingertips. So press down through the fingertips as you hug the front ribs in, squeeze the thighs. You might even want to turn the hips here. But just all these little small movements, tweaking the poses. Lift up and back, downward facing dog. Don't worry if the heels don't touch. It's not the goal to get the heels down here. But now we're going to lift both heels to stretch the tops of the feet. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Crisscross the feet to the top of the mat. I'm up on my cupcake fingers. That's it. And walk the feet together. So your little toes ideally are touching If it's too much in your body, unravel the feet and stay with the feet hips distance. But it's nice just to try things a little differently. How many forward folds have we taken in our yogi lifetime? A lot. But if it doesn't feel good in your knees or your hips, unravel the legs. Drop the head. You should feel this lovely length through the back of the neck. You're drawing your elbows down towards your big toes. One more cycle of breath here, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Release the hands to the floor. Change the cross of the legs. And when you're ready, you could keep the hands on the floor if that felt better, a bit more stability. But drop the head, maybe not the head this time. Turn the head, just subtle movements. I'm feeling a lot of swaying in my body this morning, so just coming into the balance. That's what the morning practice does. It's really helping us to ground, feel a bit more steady, and release the hands to the floor. Unravel the legs, and you're in a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. You could bring your hands on the shins here. I'm going to a little bend in the knees, hamstrings feel a little tight. And exhale, forward fold. Two more. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into plank pose. And we're just going to hover here for about 1 minute. Yeah, shall we do a minute? So plank pose can also be with your knees on the floor. So you might feel a little fatigued or tired this morning. Just tune in. What does your body need? But the nice thing about plank pose is that you're working core, you're strengthening the body. A lot of heat starts to come in. So press down, lift the back ribs. There's a lot of cat pose going on in the upper back. That's it. I've got a little kinetic movement, just slight rocking forwards and backwards. We're halfway there. Remember, at any point you can just drop those knees to the floor and come back into it, or stay for the whole time with the knees on the floor. Connection to the conscious breath, Ujjayi breath. You've got 15 more seconds. Lift your kneecaps. I like to look to the top edge of my mat, so my energy is traveling forward. And inhaling here. Exhale, lower all the way to the floor. Good. We're going to take low cobra with cupcake fingers. Point the toes. Inhale. Just a small lift, working and warming up the upper thoracic. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, spread the toes. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up and just stay here. And now make it more circular. So nice little half circle here. You can bend the elbows as much as you need to. This feels really good in my body. And come back through center. And you can either just stay here, point the toes, lift the knees. Some of you might be ready to lift up a little higher, so the pose becomes a little deeper. Lengthen through both sides of the neck. And take a look to the right. Exhale back through center. Inhale, look to the left. I see you. Exhale back through center. Inhaling here. Exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes. Hands underneath the shoulders. Squeeze the elbows. Press them down. Press up. Plank pose. Remember, knees up or down. Exhale, up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhaling through the nose. Big sigh out. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, lift the heels as you look forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Step, walk, or jump to the top of the mat. Half lift, breathe in. Forward fold and bow. Pressing down through the feet. Inhale, rise. Oh, I can feel that beautiful sun kissing my body. Exhale. Hands at prayer. Surya Namaskara A. We're going to take 3 rounds. If 3 sounds too many, take 2. Maybe take 1 very slow one. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, breathe in. Step back into plank pose. Knees up or down, shift the weight. Lower halfway, you could take low cobra. I'm going to take up dog. Exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. 3 lovely long cycles of breath. I'm just actually going to spin around here. That's it. Inhaling through the nose. If you want to breathe out through the mouth, just release and let go of any tension, any woes and worries. Just allow yourself to surrender. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Step, walk or jump. Half lift, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Press down, inhale, rise. Exhale, hands of prayer. Floating the arms up. Exhale, empty the belly of breath. Half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Step or jump back, Vinyasa. Three cycles of breath. Ideally, your ears are in line with the biceps, looking back between the feet, and the feet are about hips distance apart. Inhaling, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Step, walk or float. Exhale, forward fold. Last round. You could stay in child's pose there or down dog, but we'll all meet in downward facing dog and we'll move from there. Step or jump back. Three cycles of breath. Inhale, glide forward into plank pose. Pause here. Vashisthasana side plank. Center the left hand. Now some of you might stagger the feet. That might feel better. I'm going to stack the feet. Peel the top arm up. If it's too much, keep both hands on the floor. Press down, lift up. Arm up and over. Inhaling here. Float the top foot. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Elbow to knee, round. 2 more. If this is too much, just stay in side plank. Build the strength of your side waist. Pause here. We're going to step the right foot up. There we go. Left hand down, right arm up. There's your twist. Nice to stimulate all the digestive organs with these twists in the morning. So getting all those digestive juices flowing. I personally haven't eaten breakfast. I never eat breakfast before yoga. Had a matcha latte and spin the chest. Inhale, top arm up. Exhale, both hands to the floor. Drop the back knee down, half splits round. Stretching the hamstrings again. Flex this foot, drawing the pinky toe back towards the hip. Inhale, lift the chest. Maybe you can create some space in the body by tiptoeing the fingers forward. If your hamstrings are tight, grab the blocks. And your blocks could be here. They could be right up if the hamstrings are especially tight. So just play with it. Just take what you need from the practice. Remember, if there's some poses I'm not offering you here, feel free to add them in. I always say, take what you want, leave what you don't want. And inhale. Rebend the knee. Both arms up. Exhale, hands of prayer. Inhale, hug the front ribs in to take the twist. So ideally, when we take these twists, the ribs aren't collapsed down on the thigh. So I cue to hug them in before you take the twist. Some of you are going to keep the back knee down. I totally understand that. But some of you might feel ready to fire it up. There's the option to stay with the hands at prayer, which feels pretty good. Some of you might be here. And if you're learning to split the arms and can't quite get your hand to the floor, grab that block. That's it. Maybe arm up and over. 3 more cycles of breath. Spin the chest. Sharpen the back leg if it's lifted. Lengthen the crown of the head forward as you rotate. 1 more cycle of breath here. Top arm up. Exhale, hand to the floor. 3-legged down dog. Inhale, float the leg. Put a bend into the knee, open up the hip, circle the top ankle. As you press your left thigh back and the left heel down, rotate it the other way. And straighten the leg, rotate the hips, square the hips, feet to the floor. I'm just going to spin the other way so I don't hit my back to you. And inhale, glide forward into plank pose. Vashisthasana, side planks. Center the hand. Good, right hand in. Top arm up. Good, arm up and over. Inhale, float the top leg. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Elbow to knee round. 3 more. Remember, you can skip this part and just stay in side plank if you need to build the strength. Last one here. Elbow to knee. Look down. Step the left foot forward. A little sticky transition. Left hand down. Right arm up. There's your twist. Arm up and over. 5 cycles of breath. Inhaling, lift the back heel. Reach through the fingertips. You spin the left ribs up to the left, and I'm looking up towards this beautiful blue sky today. What's the weather like at home? Leave me a comment in the feedback below. I'd love to hear what it's like at your house or at home or wherever you're practicing today. And inhale, top arm up. Both hands to the floor. Exhale, release the back knee down. Inhale, lift. Half splits, round and round. Flex your foot. Inhale, just lifting and lengthening the back spine. You can stay here. Maybe you can tiptoe the fingers forward to create a little bit more space on the exhale. 2 more cycles of breath. How do your hamstrings feel here? Are they super tight? And just know that if you've spent a lot of time seated at your desk, or maybe you were tuned into Netflix in the weekend, or whatever it was, driving your kids around, the hamstrings are going to be tight if you're spending a lot of time seated. And inhale, rebend the front knee. Ready for the twist. Both arms up. Breathe in. This is called Vinyasa. It's a high lunge. Hands of prayer. Inhale, hug. And we always twist and rotate on the exhale. Option 1, stay right here. Breathe in. Option 2, tuck the back toe. You might even might be tucking the toe, might be intense in your body, so you just stay there. Option 3, fire it up. And then hug. Hug the left hip back to the right heel as you press the heel back. Some of you are going to split the arms. Some of you might use the block to split the arms. And last option, arm up and over. Inhaling here. Rotate, lift up, look up. 2 more cycles of breath. Press your hamstring and your calf muscle to the sky or to the ceiling. And top arm up. Hand to the floor. Vinyasa. Put a bend into the knee, open up the hip, circle the ankle as you press the right thigh back, the right heel down. And let's take that Vinyasa. And remember, you can skip the Vinyasas to reserve energy, or if you're just simply not feeling it, or maybe you've got some shoulder issues. Great to skip those Vinyasas if the shoulders are sensitive. Take an inhale through the nose. Big sigh out, exhale. Inhale, high tippy toes, bend the knees. Step, float. Oh, that was quite a big jump. Half lift, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Stay right here. Hands on the sacrum. Option to take the arms up and over. If your shoulders are tight, grab a belt or a strap and do it this way. I'm going to just come to the top edge of the mat because I'm dealing with the sun. I hope that it's not too bright in this video and the sun is killing it, so, but I'm just going to go with it. Change the clasp of your fingers so your one finger removes. This helps you use the left and right side of brain. Look up between your thighs, shift the weight forward so you can press down through all 10 toes as you lift your knees and thighs up. 3 more cycles of breath. Keeping your hands where they are, press through the feet, lift your knees and lift yourself up with a straight back. Inhaling to the top, both arms up. And then pulling your magnificent energy back into the heart space. Good, step your feet together. Chair pose, Utkatasana, bend the knees, drop the hips. Exhale, sink lower. Shift the weight into the heels till your toes lift. If your shoulders are all the way up around your ears, maybe just bring the hands slightly forward so you can roll the shoulders down. That's it. Imagine that you're physically sitting in a chair here. So you're going to lower down, hands at prayer, another twist. Inhale, lift, hug. Exhale, rotate to the right. Have a look at your knees. They're ideally in this twisting chair pose, Parivrtta Utkatasana. The knees are parallel. But what most of you might find at home is that left knee is pushing forward. So hug the knee, the shin, and the hip back, and firm the buttocks in as you pull the chest forward. Good, some of you might want to split the arms. And again, use the block if you're new to splitting the arms. That's it. Maybe you can lift up, look up, single point of focus. And one more cycle of breath. Hands at prayer. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Bring the hands forward, exhale. Right arm over left. Standing on the right foot. Just hover the left foot off the floor, hug the belly in. Cross the leg up and over. Some of you are going to put the toe on the floor. Some of you are going to hug the foot into the shin. Hug the left hip back, inhale, lift. Exhale, round and round. Maybe you're going to place the elbows on the knee. Maybe you can go beyond. Shift the weight into the heel of the standing leg. 2 more cycles of breath. There's cat pose going on in your belly, but then you're pulling the chest through the gateway of the shoulders, like low cobra. Pressing down through the feet. Inhale, lifting yourself all the way up. Exhale, release. Arms wide. Bring the hands together at prayer. Exhale. Standing on your left foot. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. Inhale, lift. I like to grab the ankle here. I'm actually going to change sides. And tree pose is heel to inner thigh, to the calf muscle or to the ankle. If you're falling in and out, maybe just start from the ground and then work yourself up. Work your way up, not work yourself up. Good, hands at prayer. A little bend in the knee. I've got a lot of swaying going on here. Inhale, take the arms wide. Left arm over right. Exhale. Squeeze the outer hip in so you're firming and hugging the left hip in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull the hands away from the face. 2 more cycles of breath. Just embrace any wobbling and really just be kind to yourself with your thoughts and your actions. Inhale, arms wide. Draw the knee to center. Feet to the floor. Other side. You just stay where you are. I'm just turning to face the camera. I've got a cloud, so I've lost that sun, which is great. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, shift the weight into the heels. Hug the belly in, lifting off these frontal hip points. Taking the twist, hands of prayer. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Press through the feet, hug and lift the back ribs up. Did you split the arms on the first side? If you did, here we go. Split the hands on the second. You could be all the way up here. It's all good. It's just layer upon layer. Shift the weight back into the heels again. I would always love to play with lifting the toes to make sure I'm in the position of the heels. It's just a nice little trick. And one more cycle of breath. Hands of prayer. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Hands forward, exhale. Left arm over right. Inhale, float the elbows up. Stand on the left foot. Float the right foot. Just lift and hover. Find that sense of gravity. And cross the leg up and over. Some of you are going to bring the toe to the floor. This is a great way to stabilize. And then play with lifting. Some of you are binding. Hug the right hip back. Inhale, hug the belly in. Exhale, round and round. Squeeze the forearms. This is a compression pose. Notice it's very similar to how we had the legs when we started the class. Pull the chest through the gateway of the shoulders so it feels like low cobra. 2 more cycles of breath. Ujjayi breath, internal gaze. Inhaling, floating the arms away from the thighs. Lift the knee. Inhale, arms wide. Hands of prayer, exhale. Standing on the right foot, maybe walk the right foot in, tree pose. Inhale, lift the left knee. Take it wide. Remember your 3 options. Ankle to ankle. Lift the chest. You could stay here. You could even keep your hand on the foot. You could take this to the wall. Inhale, arms wide. Right arm over left. Eagle arms, Garudasana. Inhale, lift. Exhale, firm the right hip in. Single point of focus. We're drawing the senses in. I like to soften the gaze. And if this is really easy for you, play with closing the eyes and see how you get on with that. It's very challenging, very humbling, because very quickly you'll probably lose your balance. And inhale, arms wide. Draw the knee through center, feet to the floor. Should we flush it through with a vinyasa? If it doesn't feel good, just step to down dog. You could even take child's pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, breathe in. Step or float back. Vinyasa. Up and back, downward facing dog. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Walk your feet to the back of the mat. Your hands to the back of the mat. Malasana yogi squat. Heels down. Elbows on the inside of the knee, and then pull and lift the chest up. Pressing down through both feet. When you press evenly into the feet, firm the buttocks, and you'll just notice this subtle lift in the pelvic floor. Close your eyes down. Tune into what's going on in the body. How do your hips feel? A lot of emotional stress, anxiety can live in the hips, old trauma. So just tune into your hips, notice how they feel. And one more cycle of breath here. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Bakasana, if you're not into taking an arm balance, stay here in Malasana. You could also take a different Malasana by bringing the knees together, coming high on the toes, and then taking the knees wide and coming through the middle of the body. But your big toes are touching, your heels are drifting down. Otherwise, for my Bakasana friends, spread the fingers, and lift up. That's it. Press down to lift up. Maybe look forward a little. Drawing the shoulder heads back and away from the ears. Lift the heels to the butt. And when you're ready, both feet to the floor. Step into downward facing dog. Inhale, three-legged dog. Walking the hands back towards your left foot. Standing splits. You could keep both hands on the floor with a generous bent knee. Some of you might reach the left hand behind the left ankle. Drop the head. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Both hands to the floor. Lift the heel off the floor. If you wanted, you could take this to a little handstand hop. And it could be as small or as big as you like. Three-legged down dog. Let's just walk it back. Inhaling here. Glide forward, knee to nose. Pause here. Lower the knee almost to the floor. Exhale, lift it up. Two more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last one. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Step it through. Drop the back heel down. Bring the right hand on the inside. Some of you might grab a block here. Top arm up. Rotate the wrist. And just open the shoulders a little bit more. So it's feeling a lot like backstroke here in your left arm. Notice any clicking. I've got a bit of clicking going on for sure. Pause at the top and then take a bit of freestyle. Pause at the top. Rotate the palm back. So imagine you're looking for that high five. Half bind. Roll and lift this top shoulder. Some of you will stay with a half bind. If your body feels ready, there's an extra layer of taking a full bind. Press the head back. Hug your right hip back to the left heel. Firm the buttock in. 3 more cycles of breath. Roll and lift that top shoulder. And inhaling here. Exhale here. Press down. Top arm up. Inhale, lifting yourself all the way up to warrior 2. And when you're ready, straighten the leg. Triangle pose. I like to walk the back foot up. I'm just going to move back a little bit on my mat. Hinge forward. Hand on the shin. I'm going to grab a block. Top arm up. Inhaling here. Rotate the palm back. Maybe you're going to play with another half bind. Maybe you can hook your hand into the opposite hip. Maybe have the hand on the sacrum. And if it doesn't feel good binding, keep the top arm up. If there's pain in the neck, look down to your right big toe. Roll and lift the shoulder. Beautiful. I'm going to play with Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Some of you are going to keep the hand bound, the arm bound. Others are going to bring the top hand on your hip. So you just choose where you're going to go today. Rebend the knee, stand the front leg. Slide your hand or your block forward. This is why I like the block. It's not such a struggle to get my hand to the floor. And then shift the weight, shoulder over the wrist. Good, pause here. Roll and lift that top shoulder. So your bottom ribs are lifting up as your top ribs roll down. Notice if your head's heavy, lift it up so the back of the neck is long. 2 more cycles of breath. Japasana, for my Japasana friends, today I'm going to draw the knee to the chest to catch the foot. Inhale, press the knee back. Some of you will keep the hand on the floor. Some of you might be able to press down to lift up. And down. Good. Step back, triangle pose. Inhale, lift all the way up. Parallel the feet. Hands behind the back. Roll the shoulders down. I like to walk my feet a little wider. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold and bow. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Just shift your weight forward so you feel pressure through all 10 toes with the 2 points of the heels still firmly on the ground. Lift the shoulder heads up and away from the floor. And if your head is touching the floor, you can just walk the feet a little closer together to get the head off the floor. One more cycle of breath here. And exhale, release both hands to the floor. Skandasana, returning the left toes to the top edge of your mat. So now the back of the mat is going to start to turn to the front of the mat. That's it, flex the foot. I'm now not mirroring you, so I'm now doing the same side as you. I'm at home and I'm on the left side. So you are turning towards the back of your mat here. You could stay with hands at prayer. A lot of us have got our hands on the floor to stop us falling backwards. There's a bind here too, if that's part of the practice. But look at your right foot and flex the foot any amount. 2 more cycles of breath. Roll and lift that top shoulder if you're binding. Lift the chest, everybody. Inhaling through the nose. And turn to the back of the mat. If you've got a block at the other end of the mat, it's a great idea to use it. If not, you might want to grab it now. Oh, and I've already got one there. Good. Inhale, three-legged dog. Floating the left leg straight back. Put a bend into the knee. Open the hips. Some of you are going to circle the ankles. Some of you will want to flip the dog all the way over. This feels really good to release the hips. Frontal hip stretch. Pressing down to lift up. And top arm up. Then Yasa. Roll over toes. Up and back. Downward facing dog. 3 cycles of breath here, yogis. If you need to weave in a child's pose, just take it, honor your practice. Inhaling through the nose, big sigh out. Anything you want to release and let go of from the week, the weekend, the past month, what's been coming up for you. Really a big part of this practice is learning to surrender and let go to what's not serving us. Float the left leg straight back, three-legged dog. Walk the hands back for a standing split. Pause here. Some of us are keeping the hands on the floor. It's a great idea to come onto cupcake fingers. If it's hard, you could even put your hands on blocks. Some of us are binding. Right hand behind the right ankle, the calf muscle lift up. And some of us on the first side, now we're kicking up with the abnormal leg, so it feels a little sticky. 3 little handstand hops. Lift the chest. 3-legged dog. Inhale here. Glide forward, knee to nose. Wow. Inhale, lower the knee. Exhale, pull it up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And step it through. Parsva. Konasana. Hand on the inside. Remember, grab your block if you need it. Peel and open the chest. And there's this connection through the inside of your knee and the thigh and the back of the elbow and the upper arm. You're pressing your upper arm into the knee so it guides your knee over to the left. A little bit of backstroke on this side. Make sure the back leg is strong and sharp. Find the pinky toe. Bit of freestyle. Forward with the arm. You could look down if there's any pain in the neck. Really always just trying to find that ultimate sweet spot in your body. Inhale, lift. Pressing down to lift the side waist up. Rotate the palm back. Exhale here. Roll and lift the shoulder. Some of you are playing with the half bind. Some of you are taking a full bind here. And don't get disheartened if the full bine's not part of your practice yet. Really, remember, this is a practice of a lifetime. We're all at different stages, we've got different issues going on with our body, and it's not how deep you can go. It's really just bringing you to the present moment and more about the awareness of what's happening in your body. Focus on what you can do and what not what on you can't do. 2 more cycles of breath. Press the head back, hug your left hip back to the right heel as you lift the knee and thigh up. Good, release the bind. Transition through warrior 2. It's inhale, lift. Exhale, sharpen the leg to triangle pose. I'm walking the back leg up. Hinge forward, hand on the shin. I'm going to grab my block. So even still, after all this time, I always practice with the block. Good. Some of us took the half bind here, some of us stayed with T-shape. Roll and lift the shoulders. So these bottom ribs are lifting up as the top ribs roll down. A lot of side plank action in triangle pose, Trikonasana. Lift the head, press it back, hug the belly in. Hug the belly in as you press the right thigh back. And Ardha Chandrasana. Rebend the front knee. Slide your hand or your block forward. Inhale, lift the back leg. So shift the shoulder, rotate the chest, and then like chair pose, shift the weight into the heel of the standing foot. I like to look through the body to see if I can make sure I can see the toes of my lifted foot. A little bend in the knee to keep the big toe plugging into the floor. Japasana, if you took it on the first side, kick the heel to the buttock. Good. Press the foot into the hand, hand into the foot. Some of you might even lift up here. 3 cycles of breath. Single point of focus. Hug and firm the left hip in. Bottom hand down. Step back into triangle pose. Some of you may even take your block here. Inhale, lift. Parallel the feet. How are we doing? Nearly there. Can you believe we've been practicing for 45 minutes already? So well done if you're still here. Hug the elbows in. Pasarita Padottanasana. Option, tripod headstand if that's part of your practice. I'm just weaving in lots of different ideas. Hinge forward. Forward fold and bow. So some of you are going to drop the hands to the floor. You could even hook your big toes here. All right, others hands on the floor, bending the elbows. If you're playing with a tripod headstand, head to the floor, lift the heels, squeeze the elbows in, and we're up. You might even want to play with a Garudasana in the legs today. Done a lot of that in the arms. Press down, lift the shoulder heads up and away from the floor. Inhale, legs wide. Exhale the other way. Squeeze the thighs together. And split the legs. If you're upside down, hinge at the hips. And now we're going to turn the toes to the top edge of the mat. Skandasana. Options, hands to the floor. Flex the left foot. Inhaling here. Roll and lift the shoulder. Can you feel everything moving and shifting? Hopefully you're really finding windows of stillness in your mind throughout the practice. It's really one of the biggest benefits. It's just slowing all the mind stuff down, constant chatter. And even if it's just for a few seconds at a time, thousands of thoughts flooding our mind constantly. It's just sometimes very hard to get a break. And turn back to the top of the mat. 3-legged down dog. Float the right leg back. Put a bend into the knee. Open the hip with the option for flipping the dog all the way over. That's it. Press down to lift up. Inhaling here. And Vinyasa. Oh, straight to downward facing dog. Roll over the toes. Up and back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Inhale, float the right leg straight back. And take the right knee, the right knee to the right wrist. Exhale, and then swing the foot across for single pigeon. If you've got any knee stuff going on and this isn't feeling good, you're going to lie down on your back and take the same pose this way. Same pose, different angle, and you're going to stay here. Otherwise, single pigeon, people, just work the pose. Notice if your right buttock is collapsed onto the floor, okay? You don't want it this. Pull the right hip back. Have a look to the back foot, spread the toes, inhale lift. And then come down onto the elbows, exhaling here. And I like to stack the hands, or you could bring block to the forehead. Another nice idea is I like to bring the block to the shin, so I can bring the ribs, and this stops me riding into the right buttock and collapsing. And I'm right here, fully supported, but you can see my hips are squared. And you could even put your hand on your sacrum to see if your hips are square. Flex your right foot, so you're opening deep into the psoas when you do that. Drop into the breath again. If the mind's always going to try and pull you out of the practice by waking you up with your to-do list and different things going on in your life. You're just always being pulled out of the rest and digest. And one more cycle of breath. Inhale, come up onto the hands. And exhale, drop down onto the right buttock. As you swing your left leg forward. Janushirsasana feels like a seated tree pose. So the foot is on the inside of the left thigh. Left foot is flexed, and bring your hands on your ribs so your ribs are in line with your left leg, which is extended and straight, and forward fold. You could stay upright. You're just going to land your hands wherever you are, and if you've got a lot of mobility and flexibility today in the hamstrings and your lower back, maybe you can grab the block here, and this feels pretty good. But there's a subtle twist, so you're spinning your right ribs to your left thigh. One more cycle of breath here. And inhale lift. Help your right knee up, and then cross your right foot over your left thigh. A lot of us are going to stay here. The goal is to have both sit bones seated on the floor, and if you've got that, maybe you can swing the left foot back to take the twist, but if that right sit bone doesn't quite make it all the way down, just straighten this leg. And if this feels too much, you could even just keep the foot on the inside for this twist. Right hand behind the right sit bone. Roll that right shoulder down and away from the ear. Left arm up. So we're pressing down to lift up, so we're creating space in the waist. Inhale. Exhale, rotate here. I feel like I live in a tree house. It's so nice to be elevated and see all these beautiful green trees. I don't know if you can hear the birds in the background. I'm sure you've heard a few cars, which I apologize for, and dogs barking. But this is real life. This is my studio at the moment, because I don't get to the studio today, and I really wanted to get another class out for you guys. So I hope it's okay with the background noises. And rotate the other way. Just take a counter twist. And either step or jump back, or you could just step to down dog, but you could take that last vinyasa if you were looking for it. Float the left leg back, left knee to the left wrist, float the foot across. Remember, you could go on your back to take the thread the needle pose. Inhale here, lift the chest, coming down onto the elbows, exhale. I'm going to use the blocks again because I used them on the first side. I love to use the blocks. If you practice with me a lot, especially in the studios, I use the blocks pretty much in every class. And if you haven't got some, really think about investing in some. I use Manduka blocks. I even make these beautiful block covers. So if you are going to the studios, you can cover your yoga blocks with yoga block sock. And I'll put the details in the description below as to where you can buy those. You can buy them on my website, yogablocksock.com. And 2 more cycles of breath. How does the hips feel? And pressing down through the hands, coming up. Rolling onto your left sit bone as you swing the right leg out. Bring the left foot into meet the inner thigh, hands on the ribs, steering the left ribs to the right thigh. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold and bow. And remember this subtle spinning, so your left ribs are spinning and lifting towards the right knee and the right thigh. Roll the shoulders down. Space on both sides of the neck. Lock at the foot. You could even put a strap around the foot if your hamstrings were tight. And if your hamstrings aren't tight, just bend the knee and take the struggle out of the pose. Two more cycles of breath wherever you are. And inhale with the chest. Walk the hands back. The sun's coming back out. Hand underneath the left knee. You could take your twist either here or cross it over or bring the leg back. Just notice what's going on in your body. It can feel very different by simply changing the cross of your legs, especially if you've got knee issues. Left hand behind, roll the shoulder down, press down to inhale, lift. And as I take the twist, I hug my knee into the midline to snuggle the elbow on the outside. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, rotate. And just close your eyes, press down through the feet. As you lengthen, inhale, breathe in. Exhale, rotate, looking back over your left shoulder. Wriggle the jaw, soften the tongue and your eyes. And taking an inhale through the nose. Exhale, release. Are you ready for Savasana? Me too. Okay. Bring my head into the shade. And actually today I'm going to use the blocks. You can put your legs up the wall. Do you know that you could do Savasana lying on your belly? If you've been traveling, legs up the wall is a great thing. Using these blocks here, you could even put a pillow underneath your knees or a blanket. You could roll the shoulders under. Just going to move those down a little bit. And just allow your body to fully surrender here. Just get any kind of wriggles and scratching, itching out of the way. But if you can, allow your body to be fully still. Take an inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, let go of the practice. Lion's breath, exhale. One more, just like this. Try and stick out the tongue. It helps remove stagnant or stuck energy. Inhaling. Open the mouth, stick out the tongue. Notice if you feel a little silly doing that. Really don't feel silly. This is so good for your body. And just return to normal shallow breathing here. There's nothing like a dog barking to pull you out of Savasana. Feel free to close the screen down and stay in your Savasana. But if you're ready to come up, start wriggling fingers and toes. Lifting arms up and over the head as you breathe in. And open the mouth, exhale. Draw the knees into the chest. Squeeze it all in. And when you're ready, roll to the side. Oh dear, apologies for the dog. What can you do? Feel all this magic in, hands at heart center, chin to chest in gratitude. And really, let's finish on focusing on what is really good in our life right now. Attitude of gratitude. focusing on what is good. We have so much abundance, and yet sometimes we get stuck focusing on what's not good, coming from a place of lack. Choose 3 things you're grateful for. Take the breath of that eye. You're amazing. Humbly bow. Namaste. Well done. Thanks for practicing with me. I really hope you enjoyed the class. Leave me some feedback. Remember to subscribe. Click the alarm bell to get notifications when a new class drops. Leave me some feedback. I'd love to hear from you. Looking for more classes, want shorter, longer, more core. Okay. Have a great day. Bye.